Welcome to Human versus AI. With AI making news every day, taking over manual labour and doling out diagnoses with more precision than doctors, machines are already stiff competition for man. Soon, we are told, they will have consciousness, humour and emotion up their steel-clad sleeve. Written by me, Michael Parker, a fallible human without AI augmentation, but with the help of robotics engineering student Delilah Haig, Human versus AI explores in essay form the human traits we thought were ours alone. In this episode, we look at thinking. Rodin's The Thinker is one of the best-known statues in the world. The seated bronze figure, deep in thought, chin supported by his hand, is the iconic thinking image. Inspired by Dante, Rodin originally named it The Poet, but changed his mind. Guided by my first inspiration, I conceived another thinker, a naked man, seated on a rock, his fist against his teeth. He dreams. The fertile thought slowly elaborates itself within his brain. He is no longer a dreamer, he is a creator. This sort of thinking, restlessly creative, would not have been tolerated by the Big Brother regime in Orwell's 1984. The feared thought police would track down and punish those guilty of independent thoughts or thought crime, eliminating them as unpeople. When writing in 1940, Orwell was responding to the totalitarian thinking already a threat in the Soviet Union and China under Mao. Even he could not have anticipated blanket surveillance of CCTV, over 5.2 million cameras in the UK alone. Nor could he have foreseen the impact of the internet, the harnessing of big data, algorithms making smartphone screens 1,000 times more intrusive than his Big Brother's mandatory telescreens. Throughout history, the world's greatest thinkers may not have faced the thought police, but all had to fight the status quo. Archimedes of Syracuse, regarded by many as the world's greatest mathematician, took the unusual step of running naked down the street, an early piece of fake news perhaps, yelling Eureka to announce his principle to the world. Aristotle, the first scientist, was challenging conventional wisdom as he pioneered the techniques of logic, observation and inquiry, still influencing thinking today. Galileo, the mathematician, created modern astronomy and confirmed the thinking of Copernicus that the Earth revolved around the Sun. His views were deemed heretical by the Roman Catholic Church, who set up an inquisition ordering him to stop promoting his views. Newton's thinking was far ahead of the time, yet his laws were so complete they are still used in space exploration today. Elon Musk, Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos would be lost without them. Darwin, with his theory of evolution facing hostility from a world where creationism and divine intervention, not natural selection, was the order of the day. Einstein, whose originality of thought helped make him the most influential scientist the world has seen, often struggled for recognition of his ideas. He said, "Why is it that nobody understands me, yet everybody likes me?" Two women on most lists of greatest thinkers had to overcome the hurdle of their gender to be recognized. Two-time Nobel Prize winner Marie Curie was not allowed to take a place at the exclusively male Warsaw University and was forced to study in secret. Ada Lovelace, less well known perhaps, had to overcome being the poet daughter of Baron not an obvious scientific association. Credited with writing the first computer code in 1840s, she is regarded by many as the prophet of the computer age. When engineering genius Babbage, who built his analytical machine, the first thinking machine, it was the visionary thinking of Lovelace and what she called her poetical science that recognized its potential. She made the leap of imagination from machines that were mere calculators to ones that we now call computers. She was the first to develop the thinking behind what we now know as a computer program or algorithm. She did not, however, believe that machines would ever think. A century later, another exceptional thinker faced criminal prosecution for his homosexuality, the father of the computing age, Alan Turing. In a 1950 paper, he said, "I propose to consider the question, can machines think?" He described his thought experiment, the imitation game. If a person submitting questions could not distinguish the machine from a human, then it was a thinking machine. He predicted that a machine would pass his Turing test. Nevertheless, 60 years later, we are still waiting for one to pass. However, although machines are not yet originators of thought, they do much of our thinking for us. For decades, we have been feeding them with our knowledge, and now, with the latest implementations of artificial neural networks, they are imitating the still mysterious way our brain works, evolves, learns, and thinks. Learning from our data and examples, they are developing their own ways to solve problems, their own ways to think. The big question is this: what happens when machines stop thinking for us and start thinking for themselves? Who will be Big Brother then? Who will be the new thought police? Thanks for listening. In all, there are 14 episodes available, each covering a human trait now being usurped by AI. Human versus AI. How will it end up?